This science fair is basically our feature flag rollout in miniature. Kids keep pushing their projects out to the judges one table at a time, and every judge is a production user with very sharp opinions. For a progressive rollout, I like starting with a tiny slice of traffic, then widening only when the metrics stay boring, in the best way. Boring is underrated. If nothing catches fire, that's a win.
Right, why? Small cohort first, then expand by percentage or by segment. Deterministic targeting helps too. You don't want a kid's project to work for one judge and fail for the next just because the assignment changed.
Exactly. I prefer stable bucketing. Same user, same flag state. Otherwise, you get that awful, "it worked 5 minutes ago" drama. We've all seen that movie. Terrible sequel.
And you need fast rollback. If the 10% cohort shows higher error rates, stop the ramp immediately.
Stop, yes, but not only on errors. I'd watch latency, support tickets, even weird behavior in adjacent systems. One time, a harmless-looking flag changed cache patterns and melted a dashboard. Very elegant disaster.
So, small canary, metric guardrails, automated pause, then 10, 25, 50, 100.
With one more rule: don't let optimism pick the pace. Let data do it, even if the junior engineer swears the demo feels fine. That phrase has doomed more launches than bad code, which is why I'm obsessive about kill switches. A progressive rollout is nice, but an emergency rollback is the real adult in the room. If something starts misbehaving at this science fair, you don't keep letting kids present into a broken mic just because the schedule says so.
Agreed. The switch has to be dead simple to flip.
And reachable. Not buried behind 4 dashboards in a confirmation modal asking if you're emotionally ready. In an incident, people get weird. I want one action that disables the feature, drains traffic, and stops the blast radius.
But rollback can be tricky if the new version wrote bad data.
Exactly, and that's why rollback and recovery are not the same thing. I'm honest to a fault about this. If a flag exposed a schema change, turning it off may only hide the symptom. The damage can still be sitting there like a kid who forgot their volcano model in the car.
So you need a pre-planned fallback path, maybe even read-only mode.
Yes, and tested before launch. I'd rather rehearse a boring rollback than improvise one while judges are asking why the lights are flickering and the scoreboard is saying 0 for everything when just a minute ago we were
looking at a completely different problem, which is why targeting matters so much. You don't want every user to get the same treatment when the risk is different.
right. Segmenting by role or attribute lets you be precise instead of dramatic. Judges get one experience, presenters get another, volunteers get a third. That's cleaner than blasting the same flag to everyone and hoping nobody notices the broken edge cases.
Role-based targeting is usually the easiest place to start.
It is, but I like attribute targeting when the product is mature enough. Geography, plan tier, device type, account age, those can all be useful if you're careful. Careful being the key word. I've seen teams get so excited about slicing users into clever little groups that they basically invented a new way to create bugs.
The rules need to be readable too. Otherwise, nobody knows why a user got the feature.
Exactly. If a judge asks, "Why did this student get a different scoring rubric?" and the answer is a tangled mess of conditions, that's not targeting, that's a confession. Keep the logic explicit, keep it auditable, and don't let marketing invent a segment at the last second because someone wants to feel special about a banner. Which leads straight into a B testing, because once you can target users cleanly, you can start learning instead of just guessing. A flag isn't only for hiding or exposing code, it's also a way to compare outcomes without turning the whole fair upside down.
Controlled experiments. One group gets variant A, another gets B, and you measure the difference.
Exactly. The hard part is resisting the urge to call a winner after 20 samples and one enthusiastic parent. I've done that in my head before, and it was embarrassing. Real A/B testing needs enough traffic, stable assignment, and a metric that actually means something.
And you have to avoid cross-contamination.
Yes. If the same kid hears both versions from two different judges, your data turns into soup. Also, don't move the goalposts halfway through. Pick the success metric first. Conversion, completion rate, error reduction, whatever matters. And stick to it unless reality forces a change.
Feature flags make the experiment reversible too.
That's the beauty of it. You can ship the code once, test the behavior, and still keep the audience split cleanly. The only trap is getting so attached to the clever experiment that you forget the kids at the table still need the scoreboard too. Pow.
Stay accurate, which is the same reason cleanup matters so much afterward. A flag that outlives its experiment becomes technical debt with a badge on it.
Absolutely. Old flags are like abandoned science projects under a table. Harmless at first, then suddenly they're tripping people. If we don't manage life cycle, we end up with dead code paths, stale logic, and nobody remembering whether a flag is still protecting launch risk or just pretending to be important.
So every flag should have an owner, a purpose, and an expiration date.
Yes, and I'd add a review date. When the rollout is done or the experiment is over, remove it. Don't just set it to false forever and call it done. That's how systems become haunted. I've seen codebases where toggles outnumbered features, which is ambitious in the worst way.
Automation helps. Detect flags that haven't changed, or that gate code no longer referenced.
And document the removal path before you ship the flag. Otherwise, the cleanup turns into archaeology, and no one wants to be digging through 6 services. Because somebody forgot whether new pricing D3, beta temp was safe to delete, or secretly holding the whole demo together by